in the low to mid-90s. A slight chance of a late-day storm, mainly from Raleigh north and west. Scattered evening thunderstorms around tonight, and then just warm late tonight. Lows in the low to mid-70s, and a much better chance of afternoon storms Friday with a high of 90. I'm Greg Fischel in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today is Thursday.
Wow, that's exciting.
It's Thursday.
What are you doing?
Well, I was sleeping.
Wake up!
Hit the snooze alarm.
You snooze, you lose. Snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose, huh?
Check this out. Good morning. Open your DJ, hit it.
It's showtime.
She said, just as we had started to climb together. Looking up, I said, hey, look, maybe I can see you tonight. And she said, well, thought I was out of luck. But 10 seconds later, somehow we got stuck in that elevator. Heaven on the 7th floor. Heaven on the 7th floor. I wanna tell you, well, I've never been so high before. So don't you rescue me, never set me free. Girl, I said, oh yeah, it looks like we could be here all night together. Is it fun? She said, you'd better have us out in 5 minutes time. Whatever, please could you make it 10? To the operator, I'm having so much fun in this elevator. Heaven on the 7th floor. Heaven on the 7th floor. Well, I've never been so high before. So don't you rescue me, never set me free. I'm in
Good morning. Wow, can't even hear myself. There you go. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. What is going on? Sometimes, I know, nobody heard. Now you hear me. I must have switched something wrong because you haven't heard us for like 2 minutes now. You would think after, how long's this new board been in?
The music was being broadcast.
Not on the air. We heard it. They didn't hear it.
No, I heard it in the car.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, I must have pressed something in between because that's what caused the... Okay, that explains the thing on the meter on my record thing. Boy, welcome into a
Professional broadcasting.
Yes, another professional job of broadcasting radio. Boy, somebody needs to take me out back and slap me awake. Phew.
Have you done this long?
Not long enough, evidently. Well, this board's way more complicated than I thought. But anyway, that's the thing in radio. You do 999,000 things right, but people only remember the one thing you got wrong.
That's a lot of jobs in life.
And any mistakes you make, everybody hears.
Law enforcement's kind of like that, too.
To a degree. My phone going off with some smart aleck telling me how incompetent I am. Dare I read it? I don't think not. All right, it's 7:33 past the hour. You did not hear a Zoom all zone because John had back surgery yesterday morning.
God bless him.
And as far as I know, everything went okay. But
I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything to the contrary, which is why I'm saying that. Because I'm sure if it didn't, I'd hear the contrary. But he's been suffering from back pain for quite a while, so he's out today and tomorrow. So we will have to we'll make do without the Zoom walk zone for a couple of days. But he's planning on returning with it on Monday. We are set up so he can record it at home and mail it in, so to speak. But sometimes after you've gone through an operation, you think with good rated intentions, yeah, I'll be all right. I can get over there in front of my computer and do it. But the anesthesia and everything else that whacks you around, sometimes you just can't do it.
Yep.
It's like, well, I won't go into that long story. But anyway, it can really break you down, and just going to the bathroom can be exhausting.
And then after all that, hopefully the surgery works and he gets some relief from that pain.
I know after I was out for 5 weeks in the hospital over an appendicitis that got botched up one side and down the other. But anyway, won't go into that story. But when I got home, you were so wiped out, so weak. I said, okay, I'm going to get up, and it was only 3 steps to the bathroom. Get up, go to the bathroom and brush my teeth and shave and take a shower, and I'll feel better. And I got up and I brushed my teeth, and I had to sit down. I'm sitting there going, like I had run a 10-mile marathon. It was just, I was just shocked at how much energy had been zapped out of me in those 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It was, I just couldn't believe it could be like that. Anyway, I crawled back to bed and said, that was a dumb idea. Still had to get up and go to the bathroom periodically, but I could just flop back into the bed then. It was hard. It was no fun at all.
You had a hard bed?
And then you got to kind of rehab yourself to force yourself to do some things in order to build yourself back up,
Yeah.
which is not easy to do. So either that or sit in some rehab place where they don't work on you hardly at all. I went to one after the surgery. And talk about worthless and nothing but a rip-off place. In 3 days, I got walked down the hall and back 2 times. No, it's 5 days. I got walked down the hall and back 2 times. I said, well, I can do this at home. Why am I paying these clowns? And then I get a bill, which I thought my insurance covered. And they go, oh, no, your insurance didn't cover it. You need to pay ours. So I paid them. Then I checked with the insurance company. Voila, they had paid them. I went back to get my money back, and they threw me out of the building. So then I wrote to corporate headquarters and told them, okay, I'll take you to small claims, get it back. And by the way, I'm going to broadcast it live on the radio. Just so everybody, I think it's a public service that people know what shysters you are. And they call back and say, oh, we will refund your money, check's on the way. And I said, well, that's not good enough. I want that little titty that was so rude to me to apologize. And she did. No, but I knew her heart wasn't in it.
Well, that wasn't the point, was it?
No. Instead of getting to the truth, she just was throwing me out of her building. Double bill, double take, and there's that place right across from the hospital. It's not owned by the hospital. What is it right there going toward Town Hall? Turn left on Rattlesnake, and it's right there on the right. I forget. It'll come to me. They deserve all the fine publicity I can give them.
I like to think that I am worth double billing, personally.
You get double billed because you're twice the trouble. You know,
I'm saying when I double bill.
I lay quietly in my bed waiting for rehab that never came. And I guess they got ticked when I said, I'm not going to sit here and let you sponge off me forever. Couldn't even get a sponge bath.
I was going to say, you turned down a sponge bath? What's up with that?
I couldn't get anything. I got no choice on the menu that got shoved in my... And, you know, when they roll Brussels sprouts in on my plate, come on. What percentage of Americans eat Brussels sprouts?
That is a lawsuit right there.
And I said, why are you cooking up Brussels sprouts as the cheapest thing that you could find at the farmer's market today?
Oh, yeah, you like to think it was fresh.
I mean, it's like serving boiled okra. I mean, most of America doesn't eat it. I'm sorry. But Brussels sprouts, even don't leave it. It's a man-made vegetable to begin with. That's bad enough. Plus, they taste horrible.
Or like that hipster, that British hipster that bought the artisan mini cabbage for like 3 pounds or something for one. Of course, it was just a Brussels sprout.
Well,
3 pounds, like $5.
I mean, I got those type vegetables I like. Of course, they all have starch in them, like corn and green beans and butter beans and potatoes. And what else do I like? Most any kind of peas, black-eyed peas, all those are good. But when you get down to the spinach and cauliflower and collards, ugh.
I didn't know you
Who
liked...
wants to eat bull grass? I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. I didn't know you liked black-eyed peas, though. Tonight's going to be a good night.
But, you know, broccoli. Ooh, I'm with President George H.W. on that one. That's some tough stuff.
Yeah, but you're not president, so you still have to eat it.
And beets. Ugh.
Oh, pickled beets are good.
Ugh. Horrible. Horrible. You want something hurling back up, give me beets or okra. Because I can't keep it down. I don't know. Why is it some people love it and some people don't?
Genes.
When it tastes so bad?
Genes.
No, some people have refined taste and others do not.
Yes.
I'll let you be the decider of which one's which.
Yes.
All right, 7:41. Let's get into our sound bites this morning.
Please.
All right. Well, Norv Schindler is here this morning. He speaks for himself.
It's Norv Schindler here again, and it's not enough that I have to pander to these snowflake millennials that I employ, but now I've heard that other employers are giving fraternity leave to their employees when they get a new puppy or kitten. So let me get this right. I gotta give paid leave to these safe space powder puffs so they can spend time with their new pets like it was a human baby? Somebody please remind me if I live in America or the Twilight Zone, because I feel like I'm losing touch with any type of reality. It's not enough that I have to try and deal with trying to get them off their iPhones all day, or trying to understand transgenders, inequality, diversity, or saving whales and polar bears by driving electric cars and eating vegan. Now I gotta try and go find a temp to run the register so Katie over here can potty train her poodle at home. Somebody please just shoot me.
You know, I'm surprised once in a while that we get some of the stuff we do from these lefty writers in New York and L.A.
Well, since he invoked millennials, we got to give them equal time.
Yes.
A Millennial Minute. Today's episode is Humane Treatment of Animals.
Hey, it's Millennial Minute, guys. I'm Caden, Erica, Sienna, Ross, Michael Smith, Edwards, and this is the show for millennials by millennials. First, we go to the mail, then we get the hashtag of the day. What's the mail, Christina? Who's it from?
This is from Uzbekistan in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Cool. What do they have to say?
Caden, I am writing you to see If you know of any restaurants that are literally socially conscious, I literally love the idea of the humane treatment of animals, but I also love to eat chicken. Any suggestions?
I actually do. Listen, we don't like to eat things with a face, but if you have to, the spot is Buddy System Meats in Brooklyn, New York. These animals are treated totally humanely. In fact, prior to them getting to the restaurant, they are fresh off a 10-day Mediterranean vacation, and they kill them with kindness. So there you go. That's your answer, and it's your hashtag of the day. Hashtag it, everybody, Buddy System Meats. Thanks for joining us on Millennial Minute. I'm Caden, Erica, Sienna, Ross, Michael, Smith, Edwards.
There you go.
Caden, Erica, Ross, Sienna, Smith, Edwards.
That's not right. Anyway.
Ever. Oh, my God, Steve.
Good news for today. A 10-year-old girl named Ivy spent 3 years in foster care, then found out on her birthday that she was being adopted by her foster parents. So she broke down sobbing. The foster parents, of course, it in good video without the sobbing, you know that. The foster parents are Daniel and Paige Zaluka, and they also adopted Ivy's younger brother and sister. Instant family here.
Careful, open it up. There we go. I want you to read it.
I'm going to be adopted?
We love you, sweetheart. We'll always be your
I
parents.
love you so much.
We love you, sweetheart. We'll always be your parents. Okay? We'll always be your real family.
And get to take care of you, protect you, and kind Lisa too. Can you believe it? God, it's too good.
That moment you all of a sudden feel like somebody wants me.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a beautiful story.
Um,
And I would think that
It's almost kind of like when you fall in love and that other person wants you back. But this is just I belong.
Yeah, I think that weeping represents the always the nagging in the back of my mind somewhere that I'm going to have to leave and go.
Yeah, security will be gone again, and
Yeah.
I'll get yanked to somebody else I don't know, and may not be really wanted, and just there for the paycheck, and so forth and so on. Let's see.
Good story, Steve.
Oh, I have another one that's more to your liking.
Oh, brother.
The Guinness Book of
Can't
World
wait.
Records includes an entry for the world's loudest junk. It belongs to an insect called a Macronecta schultzi.
You know what? I don't think anybody listening trusts that you just read that.
I
right.
did say it right. And what it does, it rubs its nether parts against its abdomen to create a chirping noise that attracts females. I guess the lower the note, the better it is for the female, huh? It can be as...
I don't understand.
They say it can be as loud as a full orchestra. You be the judge here. I had to get them running, won't it?
Women turned on all over the world right now.
Yeah, you see, you got a whole field full of these guys trying to attract female, and the female's looking for the lowest note.
So what do you think of that guy? Oh, he bugs me.
And she comes up to him and says, "Hey, you've got me by the ears." Oh, you listen to that station too? Yes. A Colorado guy went on a trip, hired a sitter for his dog Jimbo, came home a little earlier than expected and found two shirtless men and other things in his living room. of a sexual nature. Anyway, neither of them was the dog sitter. She was in the shower. The guy's name is Cleet Keller, and he talks in this clip along with an anonymous dog sitter. She says she invited two friends over and that her key got stuck in her car. That's what the well, I don't want to go there. Anyway, that's where a particular party, why it was there, to try to get a key out of the car. Anyway, here's the clip.
The general smell in the house was just disgusting. I've had all the windows and doors open. There was an open bottle of personal lubricant and a camcorder on the end table. So it's pretty self-explanatory what was going on.
But to be completely honest, I didn't have WD-40 and my keys were stuck in my car, so I ended up grabbing what I had in my car from things that, you know, I do in my personal time, and I didn't think to put it back in my car.
There's also what I can only assume are bodily fluids on the couch.
I wouldn't know anything about that because
Okay, we've had enough of that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I locked my keys in my car, so I had to use what I had in my car.
I had to make a sex porn to get in the mood to get my keys out, I guess it was.
Well, she said I locked my keys in my car, and I had to use what I had in my car to get them out.
Yeah.
All right.
And a woman died in a car crash last week in Scranton, Pennsylvania, because her boyfriend had cut her brake lines. He said it was so he could make a crack pipe. But the woman was a witness in a prison corruption case, and someone who knew her seems to think that she was murdered to keep her from testifying. The clip includes a police officer, a witness to the crash, and a friend whose voice is disguised on this.
99% of the time, it's mainly operator error. But then when you look into it, and that's why we have these inspections of the vehicles, then we determine, oh, hey, this time it wasn't the operator. This vehicle is actually tampered with, and that's what caused the death in this crash.
We saw the car going through, and she hit the two parked cars to there, and she hit the tree. And me and my coach stopped, and we got out. We walk over, and everybody was there from Cooper's, and they was trying to get the door open.
And she was a very sweet, caring person. She's done a lot of things for other people, and then this is what happens. Just horrible. From what I understand, she was run off the road a month or so ago, and it just seems wrong. You cut somebody's brake line to use the line to smoke crack. I mean, that's a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
Kanye West did a radio interview yesterday and talked about why he started supporting Trump. He basically said he just does things impulsively, and he almost always turns out to be right.
Genius.
This was WGCI in Chicago.
I don't get my information from books. I get my information from the spirit. I feel it. I go with my gut. I sit on, the telethon. I say, George Bush don't care, but I sit at that award show and say, oh, this is some bull. I'm got to go up in there. I sit against all odds and say, I'm going to put this hat on, and let's see what happened now. The thing is, in high school, people was always trying to tell me what I could do, what I couldn't do. Can't wear the tight pants. Don't dress like the Gap. Wear these cross colors. Be in this gang. Don't be in this gang. Like, everyone always my whole life been trying to tell me what to do. I got a pretty good track record of being right about stuff. So let's see, because now we got a direct line. That's one of the things. I got a direct line to Adidas. I got a direct line to the president. And let's see what happens with it and how I apply that to the city, because I'm going to apply it.
He also said that Trump is exposing a lot of problems that existed during Obama's presidency.
Politicians are politicians. It's not one that's particularly better than the other. And I understand as black people, that we had 8 years where we loved the idea of a black president, and now it seems like we took a step backwards to where we only saw, white presidents our entire life. I'm a very transparent person. I like transparency. I like exposure. I want to be exposed to the information so I can make my decision. And I knew that this rogue personality was going to allow me to see and understand and allow my brothers to understand what we were dealing with. We talk about get out, woke, or that flash of light or something.
Right.
That's a flash of light to us as an entire community to see things that we wasn't seeing when Obama was in office. That was still happening. It's like we as a collective wasn't woke.
All right. Maybe there's hope there. We'll see. Meanwhile, on to the hard news of the day. There's a new list online of the most repetitive rock songs in rock.
Oh, goody. The hard news.
At number 3, let's see if these are the most repetitive songs in rock. Let's see if you know the song. Repetitive, of course, meaning they sing the same thing 30 times in a row here. And that is...
either Rod Stewart or...
Not like Rod and Tina, doesn't it?
Kind of. Or who is that woman that drowned in her own vomit back in the 60s?
I don't know. It's called Every Picture Tells a Story by Rod Stewart.
It's called what?
Every Picture Tells a Story. Oh, shut up. All right. Here is number 2. All the This is the one you really want to hold your beer up and go, ooh, 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 all night long.
Never heard this one either.
It's the Foo Fighters. The Best of You. Can't wait to buy that one. And the number 1 most repetitive song in rock is... I said is...
That one I know.
By the Trashmen. Called Surfing Bird. Yeah, that's enough to make you want to run and jump out the window just to get away from the earworm. All right.
Well, wait, maybe I don't know. That is the one where they say the bird is the word eventually, right?
I don't know, and I really don't care. That is some awful stuff there. All right, things we need to know today.
You don't care that bird is the word?
I'll tell you what, let's do first is let's look at this day in history.
Okay.
Some of the things happening on this very day in history way back 55 years ago. In 1963, the hotline communication link between D.C. and Moscow went into operation. In 1967, the Senate confirmed Thurgood Marshall as the first African-American justice of the Supreme Court. 35 years ago today, in 1983, the Space Shuttle Challenger carried the first African-American astronaut into space, Lieutenant Colonel Guion Bluford, Jr. In 1984, fans paid more than $271,000 for assorted Beatle memorabilia at an auction in London. The highest price item was an unpublished manuscript by John Lennon that went for $23,000. Wow. In 93, 23 million homes turned into CBS's debut of The Late Show with David Letterman. Less than half that many people watched The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. 2003, Death Wish superstar Charles Bronson died from pneumonia at the age of 81. I believe that was the good senator's age, too, and he passed away this week. Birthdays today. Let's see who we have. Jessica Hardwick from Iron Fist, one of Marvel's characters, played Colleen, is 26. Joanna Brady from Quantico is 31. Andy Roderick, the retired tennis stud, is 36. Cameron Diaz, 46 years old today, from Charlie's Angels. Louis Black, the Furious Comic, 70 years old today. Peggy Lipton from the Mod Squad is 72.
A cold front will try to gain some
Buffett is
proximity
88.
to us over the next couple of days, and as a result, our chance of seeing some scattered afternoon and evening thunderstorms will pick up just a little bit, but neither of the next 2 days will be anything close to a washout. For today, partly sunny, hot and humid, highs in the low to mid-90s, a slight chance of a late-day storm, mainly from Raleigh north and west. Scattered evening thunderstorms around tonight, and then just warm late tonight, lows in the low to mid-70s, and a much better chance of afternoon storms Friday with a high of 90. I'm Greg Fischel in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Remembering John McCain.
He was a true hero.
Mourners by the thousands turning out at the Arizona State Capitol, where the body of the late U.S. Senator lies in state. And the tributes will continue today with a service planned by McCain himself.
After lying in state at the Arizona State Capitol, McCain's body will be taken by motorcade this morning to the North Phoenix Baptist Church for a memorial service. Former Vice President Joe Biden is among the speakers. You recall that Biden's son, Beau, died from the same type of aggressive brain cancer that took McCain's life. After the service, McCain's casket will be taken by motorcade to Sky Harbor Airport, where he'll leave Arizona for the final time, headed to Washington, where he'll lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda tomorrow.
Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. President Trump says U.S. and Canadian negotiators making progress in Washington talks aimed at reworking NAFTA.
They want to be a part of the deal, and we gave till Friday, and I think we're probably on track.
15 years in prison, the sentence for former suburban Dallas police officer Roy Oliver, convicted of murder in last year's shooting death of an unarmed black teenager, Jordan Edwards. His stepmother says the sentence is too lenient. Charmaine Edwards says of Oliver, he can actually see life again after 15 years, and that's not enough because Jordan can't see life again. 3 people linked to the New Mexico compound where 11 starving children were found living in deplorable conditions have been released. 2 judges ruling that prosecutors missed a deadline for scheduling a hearing for the suspects. 2 others still in custody in connection with the discovery of a child's body at the ramshackle compound. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures in the red. Dow futures down about 80 points. NASDAQ futures off 15. S&P futures 5 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
South Korean police have raided BMW's headquarters in Seoul.
BMW has already conceded that exhaust system faults have triggered engine fires in a number of diesel-powered models since the beginning of the year. Last month, it began recalling more than 100,000 cars in South Korea, but it's also admitted that the problem may not be confined to vehicles sold in that region alone. It has, for example, agreed to modify nearly 325,000 cars in Europe. Following the raids, officials in Seoul said police were investigating whether the company had previously attempted to cover up the issue. BMW said it was cooperating with official inquiries.
The BBC's Theo Leggett. Emboldened by a new peace deal, civil war-torn South Sudan says it will resume oil production in a key region next month to make up for more than $4 billion of revenue that was lost during years of fighting. News and analysis at townhall.com. President Trump says his top White House lawyer will leave his post in the coming months.
The president tweets counsel Don McGahn will leave the White House in the fall, shortly after what he hopes is Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court. McGahn played a big role in picking both Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch for the High Court, part of the president's overhaul of the federal bench. But he's also had a rocky tenure here, threatening to quit last year if the president kept pushing for special counsel Bob Mueller's removal. This morning, the president tweets he's worked with McGahn for a long time and truly appreciates his service. Sagar Meghani at the White House.
The president says he hopes there will not be violence in response to midterm elections this fall. In Mr. Trump's words, there's a lot of unnecessary violence all over the world, but also in this country, and I don't want to see it. More on these stories at townhall.com.
All law enforcement is understaffed. We could never afford to hire enough police officers or enough deputy sheriffs to really keep us safe from all crime. And that's why you've got to use this precious resource in a way that makes sense. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and I'd like to tell you about a couple of things that Steve Adams will change if he's elected sheriff. How would you like to live in or be involved in an accident in the more secluded part of the county and then call 911 only to be told it would be 20 or 30 minutes before a deputy could get there? And then to find out that instead of patrolling your area, they were tied up in a random checkpoint somewhere near the traffic circle. Steve Adams won't allow his deputies to participate in these traffic tie-ups. He will put the deputies where you need them, patrolling, using them to protect and respond to calls rather than tying traffic up somewhere. That's not the only reason I support Steve Adams for sheriff. Did you know he's pledged he will operate the animal shelter as a 100% no-kill shelter? Let me tell you what that means. It means that animals will not be killed just to make room for others. The only ones who will be euthanized will be animals who are too sick to survive. And Steve has a plan for this, and it involves a lot of volunteers who he's already lined up. That's not the current policy. No-kill animal shelter, day one of his administration. And that's just a couple of the reasons why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
When we were young, we could always count on our parents for just about anything. And now, as they age, the time has come to count on us. Griswold Home Care refers only highly qualified caregivers for just a few hours of care to 24/7 live-in service. These caregivers are compassionate and experienced. Put your trust in Griswold Home Care.
Call me, Bob Bonville, at Griswold Home Care of Pinehurst. That's 910-420-2360. 910-420-2360. We've been keeping the heart at home since 1982.
Being overweight is the #1 health problem in America today. It leads to so many avoidable health issues. If you have a weight problem and finally want to do something about it, then do what I did and participate in the Transforming You Weight Loss Program offered by Dr. Sharon Wright at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. It's a customized, physician-assisted program based on your body type and your goals. A healthier, more vibrant, spirited, and slimmer you emerges. Now, I lost 25 pounds in the first month and 50 pounds to date. That keeps me motivated. Now, the program is easy to follow. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and if I can do it, you can do it. Give Dr. Wright a call and set up your no-charge consultation about the Transforming You Weight Loss Program at 910-673-2225. That's White Chiropractic at 673-2225.
It's the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickup on the road today. The 2018 Chevy Silverado. Strong, capable, and built to withstand the test of time. When you need to get things done, you need a Silverado. Right now, get $11,505 in total value savings on a 2018 Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star 4-wheel drive when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads in your new Silverado from Clark. Experience the Clark Cadillac difference. Come pick out yours today at Clark Cadillac on Dundee Road in Pinehurst. Now is the perfect time for flooring for your home or business. Aberdeen Carpet can show you the latest flooring trends that will fit your budget and lifestyle. Flooring is what we do every day. Visit Aberdeen Carpet's large showroom and discount warehouse, filled with an extensive inventory ready for immediate pickup. We offer expert advice, competitive pricing, and a huge selection. Located on Highway 5 in Aberdeen near Habitat for Humanity. Go online to aberdeencarpet.com or call 944-6204. 944-6204. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 4.
For the Financial Safari News Network, I'm Steve Siddall. Tens of thousands of demonstrators have rallied throughout Russia to protest plans to substantially hike the age at which Russian men and women can receive their state retirement pensions, a.k.a. their version of Social Security. Now, the measure that would gradually raise the pension ages from 60 to 65 for men and from 55 to 63 for women. Now, that's Russia. There's no word on anything like that for us, but when to claim Social Security, one of the biggest decisions when it comes to making our retirement work for us. And for more, we turn to retirement wealth strategist at Capital Financial, Marty Hensley. Marty, what do you think? So the Russians are going to make them work longer, but for us, Social Security, that becomes so critical.
Holy cow. One more good reason to live in the wonderful U.S. of A., right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. When folks come into our firm here at Capital Financial, that is one of the things that we talk about at length is Social Security planning. Social Security is so important when it comes to retirement and income planning. That is in almost every single conversation that we have, the folks to give us a call. With that, if you're the next 10 callers, we're going to offer our brand new copy of the 2018 Social Security and Tax Guide that is going to help us to understand some of the tax changes, Social Security changes that were implemented here in 2018 and how that might affect our retirement and our income plan. And we're also going to offer to that offer a special portfolio analysis. We're going to look at any investment account. We'll look at fees, expenses. We'll look at risk-adjusted return, Steve. Am I doing as well as what I should be doing compared to the amount of risk that I'm taking, which we think is absolutely crucially important.
That sounds great. Just call 888-456-7577. That's 888-456-7577. Better yet, just text RETIRE to 21,000. That's RETIRE to 21,000.
Investment advisory services offered through Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Family, friends, and fans of John McCain lined up by the hundreds on Wednesday afternoon to pay their respects to the six-term senator and reflect on his legacy.
Members of the public began lining up beneath covered walkways for the opportunity to view the casket of U.S. Senator John McCain as the Vietnam War hero was lying in state in the rotunda of the Arizona State Capitol building. Mike Foley came in from San Diego to pay his respects.
He was a man with so much integrity and a man with such dedication to his country. Pretty unique.
Foley says there will never be another John McCain, but hopes others will endorse his values. Stephen Kaufman, CBS News, Phoenix.
North Carolina's highest court has rejected requests by Governor Roy Cooper and a civil rights group to hear immediately challenges to a pair of constitutional amendments Republicans rewrote earlier this week. Another round of protests are set for today involving the Silent Sam Confederate statue at UNC Chapel Hill, which was torn down by protesters last week. Alifa Crave told ABC 11 she supports a counter-protest.
I think it's a kind of an ungovernable, exciting event that people are stepping up to hold the space, just as people stepped up to topple the statue.
A federal lawsuit seeks to stop a company from continuing to allow little-studied industrial compounds to get into the Cape Fear River in eastern North Carolina. The Southern Environmental Law Center said in a news release Wednesday that it filed a lawsuit for Cape Fear River Watch against the Chemours Company. Heat and humidity combined to make the northeastern United States feel as if the temperature was more than 100 degrees. The actual temperature hit 98 degrees in Boston. CBS News' Michelle Miller is in Flushing Meadows, New York.
A break is coming on Friday where the mercury will dip to a chilly 77 degrees before it takes an about face.
You're listening to NCN News.
Hey,
Hey, football fans, the wait is over. The 2018 ACC Football Preview Magazine is out on newsstands right now. Get your football fix before the season kicks off with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Want a copy shipped to you? Order your copy today by going to accsports.com and clicking on the Football Preview banner.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
The British government plans to ban the sale of high-calorie, high-caffeine energy drinks to children because they contribute to obesity, tooth decay, and in school, bad behavior and a lack of concentration. Teacher Jason Massey.
Their focus and their attention span and their behavior just goes through the roof, and the learning just doesn't happen.
The government says energy drinks have twice as much caffeine as a cup of coffee and 10 teaspoons of sugar. A quarter of British 6 to 9-year-olds consume them. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
North Carolina Republican lawmakers have showcased their anger over Governor Roy Cooper's handling of Hurricane Matthew relief and his side agreement involving a proposed natural gas pipeline. Guilford County officials are seeking ways to increase teachers' salaries. Superintendent Sharon Contreras said there is a plan in the district budget. She tells WFMY News it's dependent on other priorities and resources on both the state and county level.
We certainly are doing our best to bring their salaries up to a place where they feel like they are being valued. It won't happen overnight, but we are making progress.
The fried chicken chain KFC is giving away $11,000. CBS News' Diane King Hall says it will go to the parents of the first baby born on September 9th named Harlan.
The baby naming promotion is to celebrate KFC's founder, Colonel Harlan Sanders. He was born on September 9th, 128 years ago. Now, last year, Harlan ranked 3,257th on the list of most common names. KFC is hoping to change that. So why $11,000? That's for KFC's 11th special herbs and spices. It will go toward the winning baby Harlan's college tuition.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Looks like the weather around here the next couple of days will be pretty typical of what you would expect in this part of the country this time of year. Heat, humidity, a chance for afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Forecast for today, partly sunny, hot, and humid. A slight chance of a very late day storm, mainly from Raleigh north and west. Highs in the low to mid-90s. And then a little better chance of some scattered evening thunderstorms tonight with lows in the low to mid-70s. Friday, partly sunny with a better chance of afternoon storms everywhere and a high near 90. I'm Greg Fischel in the Weather Center.
Sunny and already 77 degrees here in the Sand Hills. Humidity 88%. Dew point a sticky 73. Pressure 30-15. Wind southwest of 7. Visibility is at 10 statute miles. 8:16. Let's take a quick look at your Sand Hills news for this Thursday morning. Improvements to Downtown Park in Southern Pines have been fast and furious for the past few years. The tennis courts were recently rebuilt from the ground up. The new brick restroom and picnic shelter were added, and a new playground and tot lot have been popular with families. Up next to do on the to-do list is crediting a more beautiful and accessible entranceway from Southeast Broad Street. On Monday afternoon, the Southern Pines Town Council reviewed an updated conceptual plan that includes curved brick seating, a small courtyard in front of the town's administration building, and an ADA-compliant ramp into the green space. Earlier this year, town leaders budgeted $35,000 toward the project. Designed by Lynn Anderson of Anderson Architecture, the gentle slope ramp is 40 feet long, 10 feet wide. Brick trim work and curved brick walls for seating will match the exterior of the administration building, new restroom, and picnic shelter. And Pinehurst residents got to have some hands-on involvement Wednesday in the long-range planning process. They offered opinions and ideas through various means of several key issues during an event called a visioning session at Village Hall. Those issues were determined based on an input at the community kickoff meeting in June. Using a golf theme, they played 6 holes on each of the issues. Those include were growth should occur or not in the future, desired community facilities, as well as dining and shopping options, things like about the other places that they have visited that would be ideal in the village, and what big things will impact the village, both good and bad, and in the future. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:18.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The 4th and final preseason game for the Carolina Panthers tonight against Pittsburgh. It will be a night of rest for the first-team starters as they prepare for Week 1 against Dallas. But for those fighting for final roster spots, tonight's game is going to be a night of stress tests. Talking about stress tests, Wake Forest will go through one of those as well as it begins its football season tonight on the road at Tulane. Head coach Dave Clawson not downplaying any of the uncertainty on the offense as he's decided to go with a true freshman quarterback. Sam Hartman will be starting for the Deacs.
Always a lot of anxiety with the first game. Right now we're an offensive line that has probably 3 or 4 NFL prospects on it, and we certainly weren't there 4 years ago. So there's no question that I think it's easier to play quarterback right now in our offense because of what we have on the O-line. But anytime you start a true freshman quarterback, it's baptism by fire.
The U.S. Open says it regrets that a player was given a code violation for changing her shirt on the court during a match, and that's clarifying its rules on when that's allowed. Elise Cornet of France returned from a break in action during her match Tuesday with her shirt on backwards. She took off the shirt and put it back on correctly while standing near the back of the court, and she was given a code violation by the chair umpire. The play-by-play all taking place on television.
Oh, okay. Well, let's change right here.
It's a code violation for taking the shirt off on the court.
The penalty drew criticism on social media, with people noting that men frequently change their shirts while they're sitting in chairs during changeovers, a total double standard. Meanwhile,
the Williams sisters, Serena and Venus, have won through to a third-round showdown at the US Open. Venus was the first through to the sisterly clash with a hard-fought 6-4, 7-5 win over the Italian Camilla Giorgi. Serena kept her part of the bargain, advancing 6-2, 6-2 over the German Karina Vierhoff.
This is NCN Sports.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
The Big Tailgate Tour, driven by Continental Tire, is kicking off next week.
It's time for some football. We have a very exciting Big Tailgate Tour scheduled this year, starting with Chowan at Campbell. August 30th, we'll be set up right in front of Parker Lane Stadium. Come by to see us and talk football.
Pick up free koozies, t-shirts, and more from Sport Clips. Booze it and lose it in Continental Tire. Remember to drive with care on your Continental tires while you head out this week. Go to BigTailgateTour.com for a list of participating Continental Tire dealers.
Tailgate with us, BigTailgateTour.com.
The Packers have reached a benchmark deal with their franchise quarterback. NFL reporter Mike Clements is in Wisconsin with the details.
Aaron Rodgers has signed a new contract for 6 years, valued at $174 million. Rodgers is guaranteed $100 million. Now, earlier this summer, Rodgers told me the contract quarterback Kirk Cousins signed with the Vikings for $84 million was a game changer.
That's good for our sport. You know, if you look at the major sporting industries, you know, we don't have guaranteed contracts in our sport.
Rodgers will now earn an average of $29 million per year, making him the highest paid player in the NFL.
New Orleans has made a move to shore up their backup quarterback position. The Saints have acquired veteran QB Teddy Bridgewater and a 6th-round pick from the New York Jets in exchange for a 3rd-round draft pick. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
This This is your Health Liberty Minute. I'm Steve Siddall. A recent study by the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows that nearly 40% of the population of the United States have marginal vitamin B12 status. Now, the research shows a B12 deficiency can increase the risk of serious health problems, the worst of which mimic even more serious neurological diseases, and that can lead to misdiagnosis, even the wrong treatment. For clarification, we call on Medical Director of the Youth Institute and best-selling author, Dr. Greg Brannon. Doctor, first, what does B12 do for us, and then how do we know we have enough?
Yeah, here's the problem. Back to how we have enough. That's the first one. Always a blood test is very important. But you just talked about something very interesting. Here's the question. If 40% of our people don't have enough, where's it absorbed? In the gut. In the gut. In the distal part of the ileum. It's where it's actually absorbed. So what's happening with our gut health? Roundup, atrazine, these pesticides are killing the normal gut flora of these microbes that are so important for protection of our bodies. When that microbe environment is actually not enhanced, but actually hurt, absorption of not just vitamin Bs, but our fats, our proteins, and actually the immune system protection of our bodies actually hampered. There's a thing called zolan, which is the cement between the cells. That's being actually released so these molecules will actually absorb into our gut and actually affect our health. Not absorbing B12 is because the gut health is wiped out, and the gut is crucially important to absorb these actual important supplements, but Bs are important for protein synthesis and nerve development. And for more details on that, we're going to offer a 30-minute consult and a book, Stay Forever Young, for the first 10 callers, $109 value.
I'll start calling right now, gang, 800-351-8836. That's 800-351-8836. Better yet, you can text the word Liberty to 21,000 and you're in. Liberty to 21,000. Keep up with the latest information by following us on Facebook at the Youth Institute.
Not only is Chick-fil-A in Southern Pines the best fast food choice in Moore County, Chick-fil-A is an outstanding supporter of families and the community. Daddy and daughter date night, family game night, mother and son date night, teacher appreciation week, supporters of Young Life, Pinecrest ROTC Christmas celebration, and avid boosters of Moore County's high school football and other sports. Chick-fil-A, staying alive on 15501 in Southern Pines.
Bring a soft glow to your kitchen with new fingerprint-resistant Sunset Bronze appliances from Whirlpool. Now available at Keys Appliance Center in Aberdeen. This brushed satin finish reflects natural light at different times of the day, so you're sure to admire your appliances anytime you're in the kitchen. Visit the Keys Appliance showroom at 104 East Main Street in Aberdeen or on the web at keysappliance.com. See store for full details and qualified models.
Most of us have to live on a budget. That's a fact. But smart budgeting doesn't always mean sacrifice. Hi, this is Charles McKnight. At Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai Pre-Owned, we seek to make your buying experience easy and enjoyable with no gimmicks and no games. We offer you a great selection of pre-owned cars and trucks in every price range, starting as low as $59.95, with rates as low as 2.9%. For your peace of mind, all of our vehicles are Carfax certified and almost all are local trades. We don't believe any dealership will work more diligently than Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai to provide you with a quality vehicle that's Carfax certified at a better price. Why don't you drop by and experience for yourself the Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai difference.
A cold front will try to gain some proximity to us over the next couple of days, and as a result, our chance of seeing some scattered afternoon and evening thunderstorms will pick up just a little bit, but neither of the next 2 days will be anything close to a washout. For today, partly sunny, hot and humid, highs in the low to mid-90s, a slight chance of a late-day storm, mainly from Raleigh north and west. Scattered evening thunderstorms around tonight, and then just warm late tonight, lows in the low to mid-70s, and a much better chance of afternoon storms Friday with a high of 90. I'm Greg Fischel in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today is Thursday.
Wow, that's exciting.
It's Thursday.
What are you doing?
Well, I was sleeping.
Wake up!
Hit the snooze alarm.
You snooze, you lose. Snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose, huh? Check this out.
Good morning.
Go Cape hit it.
It's showtime.
I got the men from the national papers hanging around my door, but I won't tell them anything more. There's a rumor that's going round, everybody has heard, but I said it was lies and denied every word. Don't sit so close about it, secret, and I don't want to talk about it. Even if they offer to pay me, honey, I will never say that it's true. It's just so close about it, secret, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm not even saying I know you, honey, not unless you wanted me to.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's virile sidekick. Good morning, ladies.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there if you're on a mobile device. Your YouTube app will do the work for you. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search, and Leader Man spelled all with one word. If you're on your mobile device just needing audio, we suggest our crystal clear digital audio stream that you can get at TuneIn or iTunes. Either one of those will play it. Many other platforms will also do it. And you can also get us off of our website in the upper right-hand corner of every webpage at talk973.com. That's talk973.com. One click of that icon that says listen live, and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills. Got a few more super muggy days to deal with before we see a little break in the dew points. Partly cloudy today, isolated thunderstorms, high of 93, heat index 99. Tonight, more of the same, a low of 74. With a 20% chance of a thunderstorm mixed in there. We'll up it to a 30% chance for Friday. Partly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, high of 90, heat index of 95. Saturday, partly cloudy, isolated showers, high of 89. But dew points will retreat a little bit on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. When I say a little bit, we'll be down in the 69, 66 range on the dew point meter. Right now, we're in the 72, 75 range. So every degree helps a lot when you're talking about that dew point at that level. So you might feel a little better about it. But it's still going to be kind of a tough outing, but not so bad. That Saturday should be okay for the Taylortown Day Parade, which will be happening at 11 o'clock in Taylortown. Yours truly will be in that one, and look forward to seeing you and waving at you, I guess. Waving back, hopefully. But we look forward to that event, and we're glad we were invited to it. That'll be Saturday, 11 o'clock in Taylortown. Everybody's always been real nice to us over there. We've been in the Christmas parade, and there was it was another parade we were in Taylortown. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, it's always a fun time. All right, currently here in the Sandhills, we're looking at winds from the southwest of 7, visibility wide open, 10 statute miles, pressure 30-15. Dew point at a real sticky 73, humidity 88%, and we're already up to 77 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All righty, then. Let's see here. Shall we move straight to that? Okay, we'll go ahead. Get the rim shots done first this morning. All right, first up in the queue. Let's see how we do. Let me clear up a couple things off of the... Here we go. Taylor Swift honored Aretha Franklin during her show in Detroit. Taylor said she's sad Aretha died before she had a chance to start a feud with her, too. Today is an anniversary of the birth of author Mary Shelley. You know who Mary Shelley is?
She wrote Frankenstein
That's right.
a few other books.
Frankenstein is the story of someone who wanted to create something to help humanity, but just turned people into an angry mob. In other words, it's the story of Mark Zuckerberg. Kendall Jenner posted a video where she karate kicks a bottle off the person's head, just like Bruce Lee, if Bruce was a talentless fame whore. Neil Young and Daryl Hannah got married over the weekend. The couple now plans to fulfill a longtime dream by spending their honeymoon in 1983. Eddie Murphy's wife is pregnant with its 10th child, or with his 10th child. And County Arsenio, his 11th dependent. Cleveland Browns linebacker Michael Kendricks has been indicted on insider stock trading. If guilty, Kendricks could face prison time or even worse, be forced to stay with the Browns. Might be a planned strategy to get away from the Browns, you think?
Could be. Anything.
Aaron Rodgers signed a $134 million extension with the Green Bay Packers. The news made Packer fans jump for joy, then clutched their chests and died from heart attacks. Sounds like a lot of money, I know, but remember, it means he has to continue living in Green Bay, Wisconsin. $134 million. That means every time the ball is snapped to him, he just knocked down another $30,000. Can you imagine being paid $30,000 for one play in football?
No. I work here.
I like a whole set of downs. I could survive because as soon as they hike it, I'm hitting the deck. But give me my $30,000, please.
I guess that's why we're not getting paid $30,000 a snap.
Bob Costas is in talks to leave NBC after 40 years. Yes, there is a God. There's proof right there.
Woohoo!
Costas feels that the network gives, when the network gives out assignments, he was always coming up short. Okay. The first robots will walk the catwalk during London's Fashion Week. Wonder if they have sexy plastic on them or not.
Yes, because nothing shows you how well a dress hangs on a body like a robot.
The maker points out that the robots are only slightly more synthetic than Kylie Jenner.
That's probably true.
You know, they have those things called real dolls that cost all sorts of money. They'll even mold a doll to make it look like anybody you know. You know, you want to, well, let's not get gross about it. But anyway.
Like if I want a doll that looks like you, Stephen?
They, you know, regardless.
Oh, now I got you all flustered.
No, my ex-wives have ordered copies of me. They just could not bear the thought of their total screw-ups.
Oh, it would be a quick delivery then. Well, there you go, ladies.
But, yeah, if you got enough cash, they can make one look just like it. I guess they could put that on a catwalk and walk it up and down as a robot. And I'd have to pay these models $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for one little show.
No, there was a story last week or maybe earlier this week, that they're making robots out of real dolls now instead of just passive lie there, do nothing.
Researchers say goats prefer to interact with humans who are happy, which rules out anyone whose job entails studying the mental conditions of goats. Imagine in a world where your government doles out money so that researchers can figure out what makes a goat happy. This is what you do with your sociology degree. You go and write grants for yourself and get grant money. A study found, and when you put down administration, you put down supervision, $1 million so that you get paid.
$1 million.
Study found that 1 in 50 people say they met the love of their life on an airplane. That's the good news. The bad news is that the airline now charges each of them a $50 meeting the love of your life fee. A 500-foot asteroid buzzed the Earth this week. Did you see it go by?
Oh, my gosh. It was just really something to look at.
Could have caused billions in damage, or if it hit Detroit, billions more in damage. And the deep-sea coral reef was...
I don't get that one.
Well, I'll explain it to you after the show then.
Okay.
We'll have our slow class then.
All right.
A deep-sea coral reef was discovered off the coast of South Carolina. So if you've been looking for a reason to visit South Carolina, well, this still is not it. And that is your rim shots for today. Okay. Before we get into chasing bad guys, we're going to change things up a little bit. The order of things.
Oh, good.
Just to make it fun and fair. And we have to make it fair, don't we? Let's beat up on Matt a little bit.
Oh, not so good.
That's the fun of the thing, you know. We don't have to wait quite as long to beat you up.
I guess it depends on whom you speak, to whom you speak.
We'll see how well you've been listening this week.
I haven't been.
As we go for hole in the headline.
Yes, I have holes in my head.
All right. ESPN says they won't air blank during NFL games.
The national anthem.
Correct. Surprise. Blank died without leaving a will.
Blank died without leaving a will. John McCain.
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin.
Rockers blank will do the residency. Will do residency at the MGM Las Vegas in April.
Got me. I don't even know what that means.
Aerosmith. John Lennon. Lennon killer blank turned down for parole for the 10th time.
Lennon killer. Oh, am I supposed to say his name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Shame on him. Mark David Chapman. I know his whole life he never went around saying, "Hi, my name's Mark David Chapman."
Unless he was in entertainment.
His name went by Mark Chapman, I'm sure. 600-foot
or loser.
600-foot drug tunnel found running from Old Blank in Arizona to Mexican bedroom.
Get your finger off that button. Old KFC.
That's right. Ben Affleck stopped at Blank on his way to rehab.
Stopped at...
We did this story.
We did. Stopped at Burger King.
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. I like Jack in the Box.
Harvard professor says, don't use Blank, calling it pure poison.
Don't use cyanide.
Coconut oil.
What a schmuck.
Mean Judge Blank received star on Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Simon Cowell.
That's right. Family of Blanks suing doc who prescribed pain pills.
Family of blanks?
A blank.
Family of a blank. Family of a...
I didn't say a. I said family of blank.
Family of some guy who's dead.
Prince.
Yes, I was right. Why'd you buzz me?
No more Cactus Bowl. It's the Blank Bowl.
Dust Bowl.
Cheese it. Well, you flunked that pretty bad. Let's see how you do with slogans off.
Wait a minute. Aren't we going to catch bad guys?
Not yet.
Oh.
We will. That's a slogan off.
Slogans on, slogans off. I always smoke it.
This is where we'll give Matt first the very classic slogans, the ones that companies have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to drive into people's heads during the onslaught of gazillion commercials on television. And let's see if they actually got it, if it worked. What would you do for a blank?
Klondike bar.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Pringles.
Too late. Pringles.
No, it wasn't too late.
Yeah, you went up, up, up. Well, that wasn't the answer.
Yeah.
The answer was Pringles.
Well, I didn't say.
I'm sorry, we have to take.
I
your
didn't
first
say
answer.
schmuck, and that wasn't the answer.
Pardon me. Would you have
any Grey Poupon?
Mommy, wow, I'm a big kid now.
Pull-ups.
Incomplete answer.
Huggies pull-ups.
Yes, Huggies pull-ups. And you started to say Pampers. We have to take your first answer. I'm sorry, you are incorrect. And W pleasure, W fun.
Double mint gum.
Double mint gum is correct.
I got all those right, and you know it.
No, I'm sorry. Can you sing the double mint song? Double your pleasure, double your fun with double mint gum. They always had the two pretty blonde skiers.
Well, they had...
until we found out they both went out with Tiger.
They had twins, but it wasn't always the same twins.
All right, here are the modern ones. They, too, have spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to drive this into your head. But now it's mixed with a whole lot more commercials these days. You know how in one break they'll run 30 commercials. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you name it, they got it. In a 4-minute commercial, they could run 50 commercials on television. It just gets ridiculous. Well, let's see if, with all that bombardment, if any of these got through. Shave time, shave money.
Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club. The Quicker Picker-Upper.
Bounty.
Do Bigger Things.
Do bigger things. Do bigger things.
Samsung. Expect more.
Expect more. The Bunny Ranch.
Target.
Oh.
And lastly...
Yeah, expect a man in the restroom with your daughter. Expect more.
And lastly, impossible is nothing.
Impossible is nothing. Pringles.
Adidas. I think you felt that one pretty bad. All right. So, with that in mind, let's now we're in the mood to go chase some bad guys.
I'm not in that mood anymore.
Pretty, and your little dog too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad treats, you go to school.
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Drawing that big breath of air, let our big old hairy chest stick out as we walk across the floor with the attitude and style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up our closet doors, look at all 30 of our Liberty safes, and wander over to Liberty safe number 14 today.
14. That's a 1776 model Liberty safe right there.
All right, so we'll open this thing up and let Matt reach in and grab his weapon of choice.
All right, you know what, Steve? We're going to go old school. We're moving up in calibers here to a .45, but I'm going to give you a Taylor's & Company Drifter, which is an old school single-action revolver.
All right, we'll throw that into the holster, pin on our badge, grab, let's put a half a dozen cans of some super whoop-ass into our belt.
Holy mac, a half a dozen of the super?
Yeah.
Gee.
And out the door we go now in relentless pursuit of stupid criminal news.
That compensates for that single-action only gun.
Stupid criminal news number one: is not a crime to like hospital food, but anyone who likes it this much deserves to be in jail. Someone at a convenience store in Kentucky called 911 last Friday after a 35-year-old idiot named Kenneth Crouch claimed he was having a heart attack. But it turned out he was fine. He just wanted a free ride to the hospital so he could hit up the cafeteria. When paramedics got him there, he hopped out of the ambulance and walked straight in to get some grub. Police showed up and arrested him for making a false report. They also charged him in connection with a stolen gun he apparently took from someone's house. And he also had an active warrant out for writing bad checks. Just an all-round stand-up kind of guy, huh?
Well, at least he made it easy on him.
Anyway, so it looks like he'll be heading to jail for a while. But I guess the silver lining is Ken's discerning palate now gets to give prison food a go. Stupid criminal news number 2 this morning. One way or another, this guy was all in on having a flaming hot afternoon. 33-year-old guy named Joshua Lee Crook went to a gas station in St. Louis on Sunday afternoon and tried to shoplift a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. The manager called him, and they got into a brief fight when Joshua punched him in the face. Nothing like getting punched in the face over a bag of Cheetos, huh? And then he tried to get his flaming hot revenge by setting the entire place on fire. He lit a cigarette and threw it into a small pool of gasoline outside, but fortunately, it didn't ignite. He was arrested for assault, theft, and trespassing.
Didn't ignite. Maybe it was a small puddle of water.
Well, that would have been a lot of components have evaporated off already and just more of an oil spot. Anyway, last but not least,
I'm guessing there were drugs involved there, too.
I can't even imagine the series of events that led up to this robbery, but somehow it makes it even better. A man walked into a convenience store in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in the middle of the night last week, and he was only wearing 2 articles of clothing: a bandana over his face
and shoes.
And a pair of shoes.
Hey.
Otherwise, he was totally naked, ladies. Yeah. Oh, and he was also carrying a gun. Not that one.
Yeah, all the ladies wish they could have been
Man-made.
there to see this guy.
Anyway, what did he steal in his naughty armed robbery? Well, a few packages of Reese's peanut butter cups. That's it.
Definitely somebody that was high right there, huh?
Police was still trying to track him down. Just looking for somebody who wasn't blessed at birth.
That probably is one way to keep people from focusing on the things that would identify you in public.
And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Thursday. Okay. 8:52, 8 away from the top of the hour on this Thursday. Let's get into, we got to do this. Matt's favorite, he says, please don't forget my favorite part of the program, Steve. Please, oh, please, oh, please. Okay.
And now it's time for Random.
Facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, a random fact for today, since you insist so hard. Maybe a spare if you're good.
I'm always good. And when I'm bad, I'm better.
There's a Guinness World Record for loudest. Well, we did that already in our. Oh, great insect thing. We'll leave that off. All the land in America is worth a total of approximately. How much would you guess?
All the land in America. $10 trillion.
$23 trillion. And there isn't a single one of us that can actually comprehend how big that number is.
No way.
The Green Bay Packers were named after the Indian Packing Company, which gave them $500 for uniforms and equipment when the franchise started in 1919. I think I'd want a royalty on using the name.
Yeah, you'd think.
You know, if you're giving $138 million out to a quarterback, hey, I want my name that I gave you, that gave you life, to be compensated for.
That's right. 2% of your overall net revenues.
If you took all the pepperoni that America eats in a year and laid each piece side by side, it would wrap around the earth 50 times.
That's a spicy meatball.
And if you hate family gatherings, you might suffer from syngenosophobia, which is fear of relatives.
I thought it'd be fear of an Indian man.
They gave me a phonetic here. So, there you go. How much time? All right. It's a good thing that none of us have any real problems to worry about, so we can focus on the 17,000 little things that make our lives slightly less convenient. A new survey asked people to name the most, of course, from a sociologist, gobbling up your tax money for a stupid list. A new survey asked people to name the most annoying little things that happen in their day-to-day lives. And here's number one. What would you put as your number one thing?
Losing keys.
Losing keys. Other than the humidity, I'd say people won't get out of the left lane. Okay, I got that off my chest. Here are the top 10. Number 10, ATM fees. Number 9, washing your clothes and realizing you left the Kleenex in the pocket. And you were washing all the blacks.
Oh, yeah, that'll...
Drivers who don't follow the rules. I guess that falls into my thing. Lateness is number 7. The number 6 things that annoy people the most. People who eat loudly or are too messy. Number 5, spilling something on your clothes. That always gets you in a good mood, doesn't it? People who think the rules don't apply to them.
Yep.
Number 3, someone not saying please or thank you.
Yeah, that's irritating.
Number 2, people cutting in line.
You know, if I hold a door open for somebody, and it's usually men that do it, but if I hold a door open for someone and he walks through and doesn't say anything, I'll just say, yeah, you're welcome.
I just let it go. But just so seldom somebody doesn't at least say thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the post office the other day, and this lady has a package in one hand and her baby in the other, and I went, "Oh, you got a problem. Let me help you with the door here." She went, "Oh, thank you so much." The number 2 thing is people cutting in line. Number 1, people not listening to you. And who was it that said it? I wrote it down. Oh, Frank Luntz said it. He says, in today's world, people are angry and they want to be heard and they want you to listen. They just don't want to listen to you. Is the problem. Right?
Hey, I got the calculator out, Steve. Give a little perspective on $23 million.
Trillion.
23 trillion. In a 75-year lifespan, that's equal to earning $840 million every day.
All right, so it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a TSIF. Thanks, Steve. It's Friday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adamson, the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you this afternoon at 2 at the hot, steamy dog park.
Teddy Roosevelt said, if you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. I'm Matt Horsey. I'll be at an event tomorrow morning, but Steve will be here at 7 o'clock for Mornings with the Leader Man. Right now, stay tuned for Chris Plant at 9 o'clock.
When I come back, you'd better be laughing.
So, what have we learned? Heck, I don't know. But this is one crazy show. Bye now.
Cut! That's it. Go home, everybody. None of this ever happened. Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
I think we're through here.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, man. That's pretty much all I got, man. Okay, class dismissed. Rock on!
Well, let me tell you something. Everything comes to an end.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WEEB Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen. And on the web at talk973.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It is a key measure of the health of the U.S. economy. Consumer spending rose a solid 0.4% last month, the sixth straight month of robust gains.
The Commerce Department says the July spending gain followed a similar 0.4% rise in June. Inflation, as measured by a gauge closely watched by the Federal Reserve, rose 2.3% for the 12 months ending in July. While the inflation increase was higher than the Fed's 2% target, central bank officials have said they're willing to tolerate slightly higher inflation for a time, given the 6-year period when inflation fell short of the 2% goal.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The North Phoenix Baptist Church to host a memorial service later this morning for Senator John McCain, with former Vice President Biden scheduled to speak. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey among those paying their respects to McCain, whose body lies in the state capitol.
While we grieve today as a state and as a nation, John McCain's fight for America isn't over. It's a fight all Americans are obligated to continue on his behalf.
For veterans like Dan Williams, McCain's military service in Vietnam means a lot.
Anyone that ended up in the Hanoi Hilton or any other war as a prisoner of war, that says a great deal.
And Williams says McCain was an American hero. President Trump leaving open the possibility of relaunching military war games with South Korea, while saying there is no reason at this time to spend millions of dollars on those exercises. The president also sounding upbeat about the prospects for a NAFTA deal with Canada by the end of the week, and negotiations continuing in Washington. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures down 73 points, NASDAQ futures off 16, S&P futures 5 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. Arizona pays a final tribute to Senator John McCain today, celebrating his life as a former prisoner of war, politician, and presidential candidate. Senator Lindsey Graham, in an interview today with CBS this morning, said John McCain's life could be instructive to Mr. Trump in his management of the presidency.
Yeah, a lot of people you think are treating you unfairly. Fight back. But you're going to have to be a big man in a big office. John McCain was a big man, worthy of a big country. Mr. President, you need to be the big man that the presidency requires.
North Carolina's highest court has rejected requests by Governor Roy Cooper and a civil rights group to hear immediately challenges to a pair of constitutional